She's seriously awesome. She goes from third in command of some commercial freighter to badass action hero in basically the space of, it's unclear, but like 36 hours.
So here's a great thing about Major Ellen Dutch Schaefer. He's a pile of muscles that shoots big guns and kills things. That's it. That is the perfect action hero in the purest sense.
Hey everybody, welcome back for Action Hero Wars.
Pretty sure we can't afford that jingle.
I think I did it under the cap.
Okay, good.
As long as you're under 5 seconds, I think it's free. That's probably not
That's
true.
untrue, whatever.
Anyway, to my right, we have Christina defending Ellen Ripley of Alien. On the other side, we have Clint defending Dutch from Predator. Now, I don't play favorites, but because I don't know which way is right and which way is left, you're going first.
All right.
2 minutes, let's do this.
Action hero. That term gets bandied about a lot, but let's think about what it really means. A hero is somebody who transcends his or her beginnings, rises to a challenge, becomes more than what they were at the start of the journey, and helps others. In every sense of the word, Ripley is a hero. She starts as an ordinary officer on a cargo vessel, but the events of Aliens force her to step forward, to take charge, to make tough decisions, to save herself and risk her life for the good of others. And I'd argue that Ripley accomplishes all of these things much more thoroughly than my opponent Dutch ever does. As for action, maybe Ripley doesn't wield quite the quantity of gigantic weapons as Dutch, but she wields them smarter. And when it comes to action heroes, we need to keep in mind what's really important: body count. Dutch takes down a mere one predator, whereas Ripley takes down an alien, a nest of aliens, an alien queen, a dog alien. Like, dude, that is a lot of body count right there. And sure, Dutch takes out that village of gorillas, but they seem pretty wussy. Like, only one guy in his battalion even got wounded, and he didn't even have time to bleed. In every sense of the word, Ripley epitomizes the action hero. Epitomizes, T.
Incorrect.
And I would say deserves to emerge victorious in action wars. Also, Ripley is a model to women everywhere. She can totally rock the shaved head and is therefore an inspiration to me and so many others.
I see what you did there.
Clint, 2 minutes.
Okay, so just looking at Dutch from Predator and Ripley from Aliens, the Cameron Aliens, the only one that qualifies as an action movie, you might say that these two characters are very similar. Both are with a group of Marines that get big time f***ed up by extraterrestrial bad guys. I'll grant you that they're similar, even though Dutch is leading the group of Marines and not just tagging along. And Dutch is also in no way prepared for the alien that he runs into, as opposed to Ellen Ripley, who knew exactly what they were getting into in Aliens. And you know, that's not really cool. But in spite of those things, I'll concede they're the same, just for argument's sake. So I'd like to present not so much an argument, but scientific proof via the transitive property. I'm not sure exactly what branch of science that qualifies as, but as to why Dutch clearly out-action heroes Ellen Ripley. Number one, Dutch beats a predator. Number two, that predator also kills Dylan, played by Carl Weathers, who also played Apollo Creed. Number three, Apollo Creed defeats Rocky. Number four, Stallone beats Snipes in Demolition Man. Number five, Snipes kills his mother in Blade, played by Sanaa Lathan, who, in Alien vs. Predator, kills an alien queen, something that Ellen Ripley has done, therefore Sanaa Lathan is on par with Ellen Ripley. So if Dutch is better than a Predator, that's better than Dylan, who's better than Rocky, who's better than Simon Phoenix, who's better than Blade's mom, and Blade's mom goes on to prove that she's equal to Ellen Ripley, then Dutch has to be better than Ripley. And I know I have some time left, and I'm going to concede it to you to look over this chart just to make sure you grasp fully the cold and beautiful action hero logic that I presented to you.
A flow chart has been entered into evidence. Let the record show.
I'm done. I just want to make sure you get it.
Time?
That's my time.
1 minute for rebuttal.
I enjoyed your flow chart. I disagree with the crossing of universes theory that you postulate. I honestly thought you were going to go with Dutch beats a Predator, Predator beats Alien, and Alien versus Predator. Predators are better than Aliens, Dutch wins, which I would concede to, except there's a fist bump in that movie, and so all arguments based on that movie are invalid.
To be fair, there's a fist bump in like all of the movies.
I also strongly disagree with your ignoring Alien 1 in your Dutch versus Ripley comparison, especially when you make the argument that Dutch wasn't prepared for the Predator. Because Ripley was not prepared for the xenomorph in Alien 1, so she shows both Dutch's resourcefulness, and I would say that the fact that she was not in charge of the group of Marines makes her more of a hero because she has to step forward, speak truth to power, and nobody she's directly responsible for gets killed under her watch, as opposed to Dutch, who who loses all of his men.
I'm just doing some Tai Chi, but also you're out of time.
Look, there's just no badassness to Ellen Ripley. I see what you're trying to get at, but there's just nothing badass about Ellen Ripley. She's not particularly skilled.
Disagree.
She's not particularly skilled. The Marines are all like shocked that she knows how to use that power loader. She's not somebody that inspires a lot of fear in anybody. She's not going to kick anybody's ass at any given moment. She's a great survivor. Granted, she survived some really harrowing stuff, and I don't include the first Alien because it is not an action movie, by the way. So there is no action hero in a movie that is not an action movie. But it's great. It's great for her that she survived some genuinely harrowing stuff. But Dutch is just a badass. He's highly trained. He's highly capable. He's got the respect of all of his men. He's an action hero that can kick the ass of literally any situation he finds himself in, and I just don't see that for Ellen Ripley.
Freeform it up!
I do not concede that Dutch is more badass than Ellen. Ellen Ripley makes a completely clunky mechanical loading suit look badass when she goes, ka-chunk, ka-chunk, get away from her, you bitch. That is a line, you guys. That is a line, and it's a badass line.
You know what else is a line? Stick around. That is a line, too. Here's what's great about Dutch's one-liners. His one-liners are so great because they're the last words his victims hear. Like, the one-liner, like, Alien doesn't know what "get away from her, you bitch" means. It's just Alien. But Dutch's one-liners are like, you're literally dying with my machete through you, stick around. And the guy's like, ah, dead.
Okay.
Those are the best one-liners.
Speaking of badassery and one-liners for that matter, the only reason Dutch survives Predator is because the Predator thought it might be fun to go hand to hand. Like, he was completely dead.
There's honor in that.
There's honor in that, and then Dutch goes ahead and drops a log on the guy. Like,
yeah.
So you can't have it both ways. Either the Predator fights with honor, Dutch doesn't. Look, I admit that Dutch is at a bit of a disadvantage, but when the chips are on the table, he gets his ass handed to him.
Right, but look, you yourself said in your opening argument that the rest of his team gets schooled by the Predator, right? They all get killed, and they were so tough that a group of like gnarly gorilla dudes who were up to no good in the jungle, like, didn't stand a chance to all these guys because Jesse Ventura ain't got time to bleed. Like, that's how much of a badass all of those guys are. And the Predator just like rips through those guys, and Dutch, the only one that can stand up to the Predator, and he ends up defeating him.
Here, let's return to the idea that Ripley is merely a survivor.
Yes, let's.
Like, Dutch has almost no survival instincts to speak of. One of his guys is like mowing down the jungle for no reason, and he joins in for no reason.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and it was awesome.
It was awesome, but it shows absolutely no smarts. It was certainly an action move, but it was not a hero move.
You can't say that Dutch has no smarts, because Dutch is able to figure out how the Predator can see him based on the mud. He gets what's going on there. He's like, he didn't see me. Ah. So you can't say that he doesn't have smarts.
He has certain kinds of smarts, but at one point, Mac sees the shadow of the Predator, starts shooting the trees. Dutch runs up with no context whatsoever, joins in shooting the trees.
Because he has the trust and respect of his men, and that works both ways.
No, because they really wanted a shot of all the guys shooting the trees.
I don't, because they're such amazing action heroes. You got to put that in the movie. You got to put them just unloading all.
Look,
you don't give people.
want to shoot those trees.
You don't give people guns like that to be action heroes like that on screen and have them not just unload on something. Yeah.
Dutch is pretty awesome, but his movie suffers from some clumsy writing in pursuit of like glamorous action shots, and I would say that that makes Ripley the superior hero. Maybe not the superior action star, but the superior action hero.
Okay, Christina, to say that Predator as a movie suffers from anything shows your complete lack of understanding of what an action hero really is. It cannot be allowed. Ellen Ripley cannot defeat 2 Arnold Schwarzeneggers. It cannot be allowed. Arnold Schwarzenegger, and specifically Dutch, who I think it's his best role, one of the greatest action heroes of all time. It's in art. The guy can barely move his arms. He's so strong. He's like the image of the action hero that all other action heroes aspired to be once he came on the scene. And Ellen Ripley cannot be allowed to defeat him twice. Can't happen.
Look, I could watch that on repeat
Look,
all day.
he blows open a door and then says knock knock, and then he kills 2 guys. It was the last thing that they heard. They were like, oh, that guy's awesome. Dead.
Okay, well, I think that for all that Clint is so adamantly defending Predator, Arnold, and his one-liners, we cannot lose sight of what is truly important, and that is body count. And flowcharts aside, my science says that Ripley beats Dutch on the only metric that truly matters when it comes to action heroes. So vote for Ripley.
No.
All right, there you have it. Will Ellen defeat a second Arnold? You guys be the judge. If you think Ellen Ripley won, thumbs up the comment from CineFix indicating as such. If you think Dutch from Predator is the winner, thumbs up that comment. This is a critical watershed moment in defining an action hero, so your votes are important, so get them in. Make sure you check out our other semifinals video in which Casey and Lacey face off with Beatrix Kiddo versus Indiana Jones.
Predator is a great movie. You take it back.
Predator is a great movie. It just suffers from a few little things.
A few great jokes.